Today we're checking out the best tone stack in the world. Recently I fell in love with a new amp model, and that is the JCM-800. I always liked the way the JCM-800 sounded, but there are some things which, I don't know, which let me always choose other amps, because the JCM-800 is not the perfect amp. But what I found out is it has, for my taste, the perfect tone stack. So today I would like to show you what you could do with that information. So I'm using my Fractal Audio FM9, the editors here. And although I was talking about the situation where I was playing the Mooer GE300, which I use live, I was checking out the JCM-800 model there, I did a similar thing here in the FM9. So currently I'm playing one patch out of my preset pack. It's called DK2203. I think it will be in the next version of my preset pack list. By the way, if you want to get my high gain preset packs for your favorite modeling units, please contact me on Facebook or Instagram. Links are in the description below. And of course, consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already. It would be really appreciated. So back to the topic. Here we are in one of my presets, and I'm using the 2203 amp model here, the high mode. And well, let me switch off the enhancer block, which does the stereo widener thing, so that you can hear the pure amp, the cap. Compression and multiband compression doesn't do that much to the tone anyway. So this is the pure amp cap. Sounds nice, of course, but if you would like to have maybe something for chugging, you may hear that it's not the tightest amp in the world, at least with the higher gain settings. And I cranked the gain, as you can see, and also the input trim, but usually I would crank the input trims. That is only because I'm using this guitar, the Harley Benton Fusion, but well, pickups have a low output. And what people are doing with the JCM-800 is they boost it. So I did this here in the preamp section using the mid boost, quite high with 12 dB. Of course, you can also use a drive block. Anyway, without the boost, you have this crunch tone, which sounds nice. And therefore, the JCM-800 is really usable for these kind of, well, mid-gain crunch tones. But I want to use it for high gains, for leads. So I boost it. And it works fine for leads. Also what I'm doing is I'm boosting a little bit of the signal here in the 1.7K region, and I'm applying a high cut. But that is also due to the guitar. The pickups sound a little bit harsh, so I apply that. And it sounds great. But the thing is, if I switch to the neck humbucker, you can hear the flubby bass response. And I don't know why that is the case. Maybe because it doesn't have a proper, or it doesn't have the negative feedback engaged here. But if I engage it, it doesn't change anything. And it sounds like somewhere the signal is clipping. Of course, I could reduce the gain. But the thing is, this is changing the overall tone of the amp. I would have to boost the signal more to get saturation. And up here, with a similar tone, this flubby thing. So, what I did next is I was choosing another amp because I thought it's maybe due to the architecture of the preamp that is happening to crank the gain. So let's choose another model. And as you can see here, you have other Marshall amps like the Brit JVM, which is a great amp. Also some modifications of the JCM800, I think. Here the 800 mod or the number 34. But what I chose was first the JVM, the orange mode. And what I did is I changed the tone stack type to Brit 800 here. So usually it comes with the default tone stack type, whatever that is. Change it to the JCM800. I don't know if there is any difference, but for example, I think there should be one. Let's see. Yeah, here you can hear it very drastically. So make sure that you're using the tone stack. Because the thing is, I found out the JCM800 tone stack works very nice in most of my mixes. And this amp has more saturation and is tighter in the bottom. It has maybe more gain stages, so you don't have to push one too much that it goes into clipping. And if I do this here, as you can hear, it's not that flubby like with the JCM800. And of course, I did my EQing thing here, similar, and also the preamp. But I'm using another boost and not that high because I didn't need it. So let's go back to the other preset. This is the and you can hear maybe it sounds really similar. I wouldn't say it's exactly the same, but it comes close. I tried out other amps, for example the OD2 Green of the JVM. Did the same thing here. Changed it to the tone stack type of the JCM800. Orange. Green. And finally I did it with the Atomica. Atomica amp is one amp which I really dig. I use it a lot. If you're watching my videos, you may know this amp. As far as I know, it's a modification of a Marshall JCM 800. And it sounds killer. Yeah, the Atomica. Flubby, Atomica, not flubby at all. And to be honest, I don't know enough about these components of the amp that I could dial that flubbiness out of the JCM 800. So I would like to address this. If you have a clue where this is coming from, where the clipping is happening in the 2203 model and which knob to adjust for that, then please write your idea in the comment section. I would like to try that out. What I usually do if some clipping or flubbiness in the bass is happening, I cut the lows here after the preamp. And you can do this. It's way tighter. But this effect it's still there. It also changes the overall tone of the amp. You can try it out, maybe cut it really high and then add some bass frequencies afterwards. Also way better than before. So maybe this is also working. But as you can see, you have to go pretty high with that cut. Don't be afraid to do this. There are some amps which are cutting the lows at a really high point. For example, I think the Angle Savage or something, also around 400 Hertz. But we need more bass here. Let's see what happens. And what you could also do is, of course, you could add some of the bass frequencies, which are, in my opinion, here more or less the lower mids, maybe around 250 Hertz. And they will come back a little bit. As you can hear, it's also the flubbiness. Well, it comes back a little bit. Actually, I would like to show you the trick with the tone stack, and but funny enough, I found out another way to do it here with my favorite amp model to improve it. And finally, we can go back to the tone stack topic, and maybe we can choose a totally different amp, maybe a Recto or something. So let's copy channel A to channel B. And here in the channel B, we are choosing, well, let's choose a PV maybe, because PV is also an amp which I like pretty much. But of course, the 6505, it does sound very different from the Marshall. So here we have the 6505, and suddenly everything is going back to more or less stock settings. Not bad at all, but different than Marshall. So let's do our trick, change the tone stack. It's way louder, okay, that's happening sometimes. Let's dial back some mids. We are coming close. Turn off the enhancer. So we have a 6505 with the Marshall tone stack. And 6505, of course, is more saturated, like the Marshall. But it comes more bass frequencies. Of course, we can do our trick here with the input high cut, and we are boosting that frequencies a little bit. And we have a similar tone. But with way more gain. So you can hear the amp has way more saturation. But I think you get the idea, or at least I hope so. If you would like to know more about the topics, please post your questions in the comment section below, and then I will give it a try with other amps. And other than that, I hope to see you soon. Bye.